Liberian media landscape. You can read the story for your understanding. Please read. Liberians do not read, Liberians talk, and Liberians listen. Somebody says if you want to hide something from Liberian, put it in the paper, put it in the book, you will not read it. But that's not what I'm here for. I've invited a friend and a brother, an expert in the business of shipping. As my special studio guest is Rice Shortest Imminent, as reported in most of the daily newspapers today. Who and what is responsible? My special studio guest is Mr. Daniel Tolbert, agent of Commerce Shipping. Good morning, Mr. Tolbert.
Good morning, Mr. Gelate. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
Tolbert. Have my sympathy if you related to Richard.
I am.
Richard was a friend of ours, and we met several times. Even his days at the NIC was a good Tolbert.
Thank you. May he rest in peace.
May his soul rest in perfect
Amen.
peace.
Amen.
Let's look at this. Tell us exactly the scope of your work at what you're doing.
Okay, T-Max. Again, thank you for inviting me to your show. I'm happy to be here with you. I'm happy to answer any questions that I can. My company, Camera Shipping, is a registered vessel agency company, shipping company here in Liberia. This is a company that has existed since 1969. In fact, when my late father started the business. And basically, we serve as vessel agents, meaning for that is not a liner vessel, meaning like a Maersk line container vessel of rice that will come with clinker for cement, that will come with wheat and other things such as that. They need to have a local vessel agent that will represent them in Liberia. So when the ship comes, they don't deal directly with the authorities. They have a representative, meaning an agent like myself, my business, that will be basically their representative to talk with, whether it be NPA or APM terminals, whatever the charges that are related to the port. All of those payments will come through the vessel agent, so that the local authorities don't have to worry about, some strange vessel coming and going and how they get in their payment and so forth. Every vessel that calls in Liberia will be represented by a vessel agent. So that's the business that I'm in. I've been providing this service to importers of various types of cargo here in Liberia for many, many years.
If you read the papers today, it's a papers that's something frightening, something scary, because Liberians don't eat rice. You have not eaten anything at all. It could be anything in this world if you eat it, unless you eat rice. And so rice has become that Liberia's stable, has also become a security commodity as well as a political commodity. We read in the stories about one of the major suppliers of rice, the importers of rice, the K&K. The document we have before us, K&K has paid up to $1 million to his ship owners, people that bring their ship, because he paid $20,000 a day for 50 days, that equals $1 million. And he sent a letter. Sometimes in June, July, I sent a letter to MPA expressing his frustration as to why the ship cannot be berthed and what is going on. So now they have not heard anything. He won $1,000 to the APM terminal. What are you reading? Since you K&K rice.
Well, T-Max, as you rightfully said, Camera Shipping is the agent for this particular vessel, this cargo that has arrived for K&K Trading. The vessel is named the MV Altair Sky. This vessel arrived back in July 24th, with 42,000 metric tons of bagged rice for K&K Trading. As you know, we are in a rainy season here in Liberia, T-Max. And the rainy season, unfortunately, is a time of the year here in Liberia that you don't really want to bring vessel if you can help it. But the fact of the matter is, rice ships have been coming to Liberia for many, many, many years during the rainy season. But it's in recent times that we're starting to notice a change. It is the case in recent times that we are finding these rice vessels having to sit and wait for an available berth longer than ever before. For example, I said that this vessel here now, for which again Camera Shipping is the agent, has been here since July 24th. You know how many days that is? Do the math up to now. This type of cargo, as you rightfully said, is a political cargo to a certain extent, but it's perishable cargo.
Precisely.
We're talking about rice.
When it gets wet, it's gone.
We cannot allow a vessel to be loaded with millions of dollars of rice cargo coming from Liberia to get here, and this vessel ends up sitting down outside waiting until the rice spoil. That defeats, the
whole
purpose
purpose
completely. And not only that, where we talk about looming rice shortage, while, let me make some clarity in regards to that statement that we are reading in the newspaper. The rice shortage that we are afraid of is not something that's happening today or overnight. It's what is going to happen based on the current conditions that we're finding at the Freeport of Monrovia. If you can have a rice vessel come and sit here and be outside, for, God forbid, almost 2 months, waiting to come in, and the rice spoils, people will not want to send rice here. Nobody wants to charter a vessel and bring it to Liberia, where, number one, the demurrage costs are going to be, again, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Nobody budgets that into.
But what is that process? What is that sort of enrichment? I think APM terminal should be in the know that this product is a commodity. It's a political commodity. This product is easily perishable. Why not give it a priority?
APM terminals, AP Mauler terminals is a part of the group, the AP Mauler group. And this group, it's AP Mauler Maersk. Many of your listeners, I'm sure, are familiar with the name Maersk Line. This is the largest container movement company in the world, Maersk. And Maersk, again, owns APM Terminals. APM Terminals is a container terminal, meaning to say their priority, their number one mission is to expedite the movement of containers through Monrovia and in the other 38 other countries that APM Terminals has management, of ports. So the priorities that APM will have will be first and foremost for container traffic, and then secondly, other types of cargo.
But then this commodity is a political commodity.
It's not prioritized by APM Terminals.
Why that way? What are the scope of their priority items?
Containers first. It is. APM doesn't hide the fact.
Rice can be out there. Flour can be out there. Sugar can be out there. It can get perished. It can be out there because it's not priority stuff.
T-Max, I'm not here necessarily to point finger at APM Terminals. What I would like to raise an alarm on is the fact that currently we are outgrowing our infrastructure at the Freeport of Monrovia. The fact of the matter is the 600 meters of the marginal wharf, it can accommodate 3 vessels at a time. But
that would still be under the supervision of APM Terminal.
Everything is managed by APM Terminals.
It wouldn't solve any problem either way.
All of the decisions made in regards to which vessel can come in first, second, or third are made by APM Terminals utilizing what they call their berthing protocol. There is a berthing protocol that APM Terminals follows, which designates 1 berth for container traffic, 1 berth for general cargo, 2 berths for general cargo, 1 for break bulk. Break bulk is bagged rice, for example. And then you have bulk, which is the clinkers and the bulk wheat. So there's three berths on the main terminal at APM Terminals. Again, 1 is for container, 1 is for general cargo, break bulk, and the other one is general cargo, bulk. Now, if, for example, we do have a ship in port right now that has rice. There's a rice vessel in port right now. Now,
as we speak.
She's been there. She's been here in Liberia since sometime in June. And so the K&K vessel that's outside is waiting for this other vessel to complete. But that vessel still has somewhere around 30,000 metric tons on board. She may not finish before the end of this month. Wow. Does that mean that the K&K vessel will remain outside until the end of the month or longer, whenever that other vessel finishes before she comes in, that means now that rice on board that K&K vessel more than likely has become contaminated and perhaps unfit for.
And you can't sell it here.
You can't sell it here. Not as food for the Liberian public. Nobody's going to stand for that. But this is the risk. This is what's happening. And, what we need to do is to find some other means by
some alternative.
Well, APM terminals is going to have to be a bit more flexible relative to their burden protocol. It can't be the case where we will prioritize container traffic at the expense of this political commodity, which again has the propensity, if God forbid this vessel sits out there until we reach to 60 days, the cargo comes in, it's contaminated. What does that say about Liberia as a place where people do business, as a place where shipping lines are
especially the free port that considers it the gateway?
The gateway. This is the gateway to our nation's economy. We do not want to have the reputation as the country where you will send ships with rice cargo and it will sit outside until the rice get rotten. Something has to change. Have
you agents made any representation to APM terminals so as to be flexible?
Well, certainly, that's our responsibility. Our job is to engage APM terminals, the port authorities in general, on behalf of our clients, on behalf of this vessel. And certainly we continue to do that on a daily basis. We engage APM to find out what can be done. We appeal to them in many different ways in which, we have to come to communicate with them, whether it's, verbal or by email or by visiting at their office. We appeal regularly for some consideration, but really we're not seeing it for this particular K&K vessel. And we feel as though this burden protocol that APM terminal
has to be revisited.
It has to be revisited. Somehow rice needs to enter into that burden protocol. Let there be some priority for rice, at least during the rainy season. The rainy season is where we're seeing this problem where you have vessels backed up and then, no effort really being made. APM is saying that, look, you have one rice vessel in port already. It's enough.
It's enough.
It's enough. And if that other vessel will have to remain outside, then it will, so be it. But we cannot, as a country, we cannot afford those type of consequences. We cannot be the country where somebody will bring rice cargo and will sit outside until it spoils. Why would we want to have a reputation like that? And the millions of dollars that are involved, in terms of the cost of the cargo, the demurrage that is being incurred. Demurrage is the fee now that the owner of the cargo K&K Trading
pays on a daily basis.
They pay on a daily basis to the vessel owner because they expected this cargo to be transported here and to be discharged within a certain period of time that's reasonable. If you even say 1 month, because it's only a few days travel from India to here with that ship, 16 days or so to arrive here. And then, normally for this type of cargo, you're averaging maybe 2,000, 2,500 metric tons a day to discharge this cargo. But for it to come and be here for 2 months, that means probably for 30 days plus, the owner now is the owner of the cargo, K&K, is paying tens of thousands of dollars. You said 20,000. You may have spoken with them. $20,000 a day for that vessel to be sitting down. So when you take the cost of the cargo, the cost of the demurrage, the cost of the actual shipping before you reach to the demurrage, the losses involved, this thing ends up being a multi-million-dollar loss, for a business in Liberia, for our reputation, as a shipping destination here in Liberia. So it's a complete loss for so many, from so many different angles.
Let's look at K&K as a rice importer, one of the major rice importers in Liberia. It's incurring this sort of expenses. It's put at $1,620,000. Let's look at this. Let's assume that the APM terminal does not have a change of mind. Let us assume that I say, okay, can you be out there until the rice got rotten? Who shares his bill? Who listens to him? What does he tell his suppliers? What does he tell his agent like you? You be waiting anxiously to have the ship berth.
At the end of the day, T-Max, it is the Liberian.
Well, where is this option in this transaction?
Well, his only option, of course, is going to be to have to increase the cost of the rice. I mean, he has to offset these expenses somehow as a business.
Depending if the rice arrives good to
Exactly so. And if not this consignment, maybe the next one that he will bring, if this one ends up being a loss, the cost of the cargo that he is bringing for sale is going to have to be affected. The price of rice will go up. This is the concern. I mean, when you have these kind of losses, there's going to be some adjustment to your price. And so,
or you say, look, I'm not going to this sector anymore.
And where we talk about rice shortage, this is the concern. If it becomes too challenging, too expensive for our importers to bring rice into this country
and readily discharge them,
thank you. Then we headed for trouble. We really are. So the bottom line is this: APM Terminals needs to take into consideration the importance of this rice cargo here in Liberia. If that's somewhere else in Europe or wherever, and they want to make container a priority, 365 days out of the year, no problem. But here in Liberia, rice needs to be a priority at some point. If we cannot risk vessels sitting down outside for expenses associated with bringing that cargo to be and not fit for consumption by the Liberian public.
And we don't have any option to that. There's no good around.
It's only right now we are begging APM to please consider. That's where we are. Because we have, but unfortunately, this vessel since July 24th up to today is still waiting for an available berth.
APM terminal received $621,000.
$14.85 T-Max is what APM Terminals charges per ton for handling rice cargo. So to discharge rice cargo, they are charging $14.85 per ton. It has brought, they had to pay advance of their vessel arriving this $600,000+ for cargo handling. So that money was paid.
But you have not handled the cargo yet.
Said before July 24th, that money was received by APM Terminals. Up to now, nothing.
You have to pay this money before the ship breaks.
Before APM will even consider your vessel to have been arrived and put it on the waiting list, you have to pay that money. Yeah, if you haven't paid handling charges, all of the port charges really in advance, then you're not really here. So you will pay in advance, but then you still end up having to wait the amount of time that we have been waiting.
In other words, you pay for handling. Yeah. Your goods stay out in the deep sea. You have not. So you pay money for nothing for services you're not enjoying.
Not only that, what if the cargo is contaminated? What if the cargo is not fit? And you have already paid this money to APM Terminals. I mean, we should never be in this situation.
APM Terminals doesn't have any penalty to do if the cargoes become contaminated.
I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out, T-Max. I don't know for sure as to who could be held liable, but that's something for the lawyers, I guess, to determine. Yeah.
Is that a fair deal?
Look, we are Liberians and we want to see the best for Liberia. We are only appealing to APM Terminals to understand, the significance of this situation. In as much as they want to prioritize their container traffic, we understand that is who they are. Here in Liberia, we are asking them to consider the fact that rice is also an extremely important commodity
in a rainy season
for us here in Liberia. We cannot afford to spoil our way with the shippers, the people who own the vessels, the ships. When we stand and say we won't bring rice to Liberia, they'll tell us, no, your country not ready yet. We want for them to continue to work with us. But when we have these type of situations, it really makes Liberia look bad.
There's no way around it.
I mean, APM Terminals will have to find a way. They are the ones running the show.
And it means also that the shippers, just like you, people that handle ship, you got to make a lot of noise to them.
Well, I mean, I'm here with you today. I accepted your invitation because I feel this is an important issue that needs to be, put out into the public arena so that people understand what's really going on. And hopefully, those who are in a position to influence APM terminals will have conversations with them that will lead to something better being done.
Would there be any consideration? Let me put it this way: you're not the one I'm referring to. Can there be any representation? Is it possible? If the Minister of Commerce, I talked to him sometime last week concerning that. I'm going to talk about this because I saw what was coming.
Yeah.
You think if he makes a representation to APM terminal, that might be a change of mind?
Well, I know that APM terminals, of course,
will listen to the Minister of Commerce.
Absolutely, they will definitely listen.
But the Minister of Commerce was a letter that was sent to APM terminal that was sent to MP. He has a copy of that and he has not acted on that.
You know, T-Max, let's be clear here. Technically, according to their protocol, they are following. They have is a very point fingers at APM terminals to say that they are, somehow committing some great crime. However, that the fact that burden protocol allows for example, a second rice vessel to continue to sit outside, for this length of period, and then with the risk of the cargo getting spoiled, APM will have to revisit the burden protocol to see what changes can be made, what adjustments can be made in order to prevent this type of thing from happening. There are 3 berths. There are, like I said, one for rice, one for container, and one for other break bulk cargo. Maybe
the one for rice can only take one ship at a time.
They can only take one ship at a time. But again, there's one for containers, and then there's a third one for whether it be clinker or wheat, bulk cargo. APM is not a huge fan of putting 2 rice ships in at the same time. In fact, while these rice vessels have been here, while the K&K vessel has been outside, 2 clinker vessels have come, 1 wheat vessel has come and gone. All of these vessels came after the K&K rice. But because there's 1 rice vessel at berth right now for another importer, APM is saying, well, we don't need to bring a second rice vessel in. That one is already there. We'll use this other berth for whether it be the clinker or wheat, or at times they will bring additional containers to work, the other berth, excuse me. But again, we have to use common sense and say, oh, but the other vessel be sitting outside, the rice vessel be sitting outside for 45 days. We worry about the rice condition inside. Let's try to do something. That's not.
And the other guy has already paid. He's already paid $621,000.
Thank you. So again, there needs to be some flexibility from APM terminal side. Some recognizing that we need to treat this on an emergency basis because it's been here for too long. Something needs to be put into the burden protocol for APM terminal that will protect rice cargo vessels during the rainy season in Liberia, so they don't come and be at risk of staying here for 60 days and incur all kinds of expenses that will carry the cost of rice up, or that the rice that came will spoil and have to go back. God forbid.
God forbid.
We're almost there. We are almost there now. We're waiting to see when the vessel finally comes in. When they open our hatch, we're all waiting to see what it will look like.
There might not be good rice.
It may not.
That's a serious loss. Let's take our break, and when we come back, call us on those numbers on 077-777-107, or you call us on 077-221-223. Special studio guest is Daniel Tolbert.
After being in the business for more than 20 years, Uptown Garage has all it takes to make your car work best for you. Uptown Garage has all sizes of quality tires. We also have the efficient and long-lasting Uptown batteries. Uptown Garage also have a state-of-the-art 2023 upgraded diagnoser that can easily detect and fix any problem with your car. Is your car having any electrical problem, or is it the air conditioner? Well, Uptown Garage has a professional electrician who is up to the task of programming and solving all electrical problems on your car. Uptown Garage is at the intersection of Broad and Nelson Streets with the Uptown Spare Parts Store on Broad Street. We also have our garage and showroom at Rehab for original spark plugs from Japan, oil filters, engine oil, and everything you need to get your car working perfectly. Come to Uptown Garage. will give you 1 month warranty. Uptown Garage also have a tow truck that can tow your car anywhere for a fee. Contact Uptown Garage headquarters on 0777 553317, 0886 553317, or our rehab branch on 0770 902865. Uptown Garage, your 100% Liberian-owned business, is here to put a smile on your face.
Tanu, have you heard about EcoBank Back to School giveaway?
You again. I haven't. Tell me about it.
Tanu, for every Western Union, MoneyGram, RIA, or Rapid Transfer transaction done at any EcoBank branch or sub-agent location, you can get a prize.
Well, I'm not understanding you. Tell me about the thing because my brother saying the children's school fee first thing tomorrow.
Okay, listen again. Whether you send money or receive money through Western Union, MoneyGram, RIA, or Rapid Transfer at any EcoBank branch or sub-agent location, you get EcoBank branded copybooks, pens, pencils, and many other items.
Julie, I get it now. I will definitely go to EcoBank for all my Western Union, MoneyGram, RIA, and Rapid Transfer transaction. That is EcoBank way of saying, welcome back to school. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Thank you very much. We're back on 50-50 on Sky 107. Who should be blamed when rice shortage occurs in Liberia? As we've been told, all the today's newspapers asked Mr. Tolbert to come in, because if you read all the papers today, most of the papers today has to do with the fear of rice scarcity looms over Liberia. So I'm invited Mr. Tolbert to give me, because he's been in the shipping thing for long. He's an agent of most ships coming to Liberia. So rice, if what is going on is not properly handled, mine got plunged into another rice shortage, and how we got to do it. What is your view? Call me on those numbers on 0777-777-107. Let's go to the line, talk to our very first caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm all right. What's your name, please?
Chris Wong. Chris Wong, calling from New Jersey.
When Chris Wong, go ahead.
Yeah, my point here is that the management of the port, are they drilling in the railway of the ships coming in? Why we need to start, you can drill in the railway of the ships coming in. Then there will be a flowing of the ship going in and coming out fluently. What are they doing there? Do they want for us to die for hunger? I beg you, then let them fight hard. We beg them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Call me on that number on 0777-777-107. You'll be live from 50-50 on Sky 107. Let's go back to line 3. Talk to our next caller. Good morning. Good morning. The caller is not ready. So it's a tricky business. You pay in advance for services not rendered, and it's stay there out there and no redress.
Yeah, T-Max. We need more space in the Freeport of Monrovia, and this is something that NPA.
When you talk about space, is the WAP that small?
So the National Port Authority, the berths that are at APM terminals, there are multiple. There are the 3 berths at the marginal wharf, which is controlled by APM terminal, but NPA still has control of LMC Pier and BMC Pier. Those berths,
are they functional now?
Well, I mean, there's functional and there's functional. They are functional for certain types of vessels, but not for all. There's definitely some work that needs to be done on those piers in order for them to be fully functional. And that is a direction that APM Terminal, along with NPA, their landlord, really need to be visiting and seeing how best they can make additional berths available for all types of cargo.
You can serve a lot of ships at a time.
Yes.
Call us on that number on 0777-777-107. You'll be live from 50-50 on Sky 107. Let's go back to line 2. Talk to our next caller. Good morning. Good morning, my brother. What's your name?
Yeah, good morning, sir. I'm looking for Peace Island.
From Peace Island, go ahead.
Yeah, my concern is the issue. See, I go down back on the stores for any other places. they get by the rest. I say that after from the phone, you buy the rest. I know why.
You say you're gonna buy some item before you buy the rest?
Yeah, what they can do. But Mama wanted to see the buy rest. You gotta buy item for the rest. The person they had there. The women that try, they got time and coming or that area too. Get out there. Yo, that's not issue. That's serious.
So
you can't buy rest.
So if you don't buy the item, you can't buy rest.
Yeah, you buy the powder, you buy the. That's why you not need it. The next time you buy, you can buy it for that. It's serious.
You think what they're doing it?
But I said for me, other there, the way you do it, you better buy rest. You can't say you buy item.
Thank you very much. Call me on that number 0777. Let's go back to line 5. Talk to our next caller. Good morning.
How you doing?
Good morning, my brother. I'm all right. What's your name and where you calling me from?
My name is Emmanuel Mark, and I'm calling from City of Brotherly Law, Philadelphia.
Go ahead, Emmanuel.
Good morning to my studio guests. How you doing, sir?
Good morning.
Yeah, Team Ajlate, I'm so sorry to say this. Liberia is a pitiful country, and even including our own self, including our leaders, we are pitiful people. Team Ajlate, when people like Tolbert were killed, maybe some of were something about maybe 1 year old or 2 year old, and we were born and can't meet a particular story concerning about the rest issue. Every Liberian, including past and present, know you pretty well that rest is a political commodity. And up to this time, those people who instigated the killing of President Tolbert because quote unquote right price is hard. Up to this time, we do not have a solution. We should not be crying about people importing rest and things to come. Look, Tima, I am so much mad in myself that up to this time, our own stable food, we cannot produce it in Liberia, and our leader know these things. And it's so saddening. Just a counter, I'm yet still to be corrected that the Liberian government sent a 40 million yen rice supply to be sent to Liberia. I was thinking, are we talking about the finishing product, or are we talking about the seed to plant? I think about this time, it is about time that we get into countries who are scaling themselves to get a medium farming that will be able to come to Liberia, teach our people how to farm. We should not be discussing this thing in the 21st century. Our own food. We should be ashamed of ourselves.
But the point is,
we should be ashamed of ourselves. Why are we talking about this, Tima?
The point is,
thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very
go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
The point is, we should have done this long since. We didn't do it, and we depend on importers to bring rice. We need the rice so desperately. Us Liberians, they don't eat rice. They don't eat anything at all. So the procedure is that make that rice available. Since we cannot produce our own rice.
Hello.
Good morning, my brother. What's your name and where you calling me from?
Yeah, I'm Solomon Cooper calling from around the Freeport.
Mr. Cooper, go ahead.
Yeah, Tima, we are so our bread right in this country as we Liberians. We had no right. We had a national food authority in existence years over years. They couldn't maintain the food. We had to switch to another field called APN terminal. If you want to be right for the country. And besides that, we have a president now who is an agriculturalist. Are we going to buy rice again for the next century year again? It's so disheartening, it's so frustrating. So I just want to participate, man.
Thank you very much. Call me on that number, 0777. Let's go back to line 3. Talk to our next caller. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, you're back again.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I did not finish my talk, Tima Jate. I'm sorry. You were just making a measure you said we have done a long time. Tima, whatsoever had not been done, it can yet and still be done. I do not want to put my name up there, right? But there is a guy that you have been hearing about. They call Anson Jabba. Anson Jabba have a company in Liberia, even though it is not much, but I'm part of that company. Mr. Tima Jate, we producing rice in Liberia day by day on the internet. Go and see it. If one individual who had that ideology can bring that idea or Liberia all around the world, contributing to it, the little that we are doing, why the government cannot look at such a thing, empower our Liberian, build a Mika family, a mega farming institution where we will supply, produce our own food. It can be done. But imagine that it's wickedness. Our people know what they are doing because when they cut this deal, let the money come from in a pocket, so they are happy with it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I hope you don't call again. So, Tolbert, I've heard that your ship might be diving, might be berthing at the port by the 17th. Is that how true is that?
T-Max, we will only have to wait to see. Unfortunately,
you will be that Dr. Thomas unless you see it.
I have to be, as an agent, I have to be a Dr. Thomas because in shipping things change on an hourly basis before you say daily basis. We have been promised that this rice vessel is going to come in. For the past 2 weeks, we have been told the vessel will be coming in tomorrow or the next day. And so we are praying and fingers across for tomorrow once again, but we'll wait and see.
Call us on that number. Let's go back to line 1. Talk to our next caller. Good morning. To call 07777-107. Let's go back to the line. Talk to our next caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Timas.
Good morning, my brother. What's your name, please?
Yeah, I'm calling from Augusta, Washington, Molba.
Go ahead, Molba.
The problem we have here is that we have problem with APM. The problem that's suffering this country is APM terminal and the House of Legislature. They were the problem from. Why you blame the national legislature? APM terminal is running the port. The legislature got nothing to do with that. Yeah, they are the one that can sign the Bugo agreement, and Bugo wants something in their pocket, so they go against the citizen. So we need to go against those people that are signing Bugo agreement that today making this country today. Because rest is our civil food. I think rest will be shutting in this country. So for rest to be shutting in this country is a serious issue. But we're looking at it today. We talking as they say that Joe, when the people get on the street, it's our breaking places, then we take it serious. It's serious. Rest that's what will be shut for this place. So thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Call us on that number 07777-107. You'll be live on 5050 on Sky 107. Our special studio guest is Daniel Tolbert. Daniel Tolbert is the agent for the commerce shipping. We're discussing the imminent shortage of rice as for the 2,000 metric tons of rice on the sea waiting to be delivered, though they paid $621,000 to APM terminal. Let's go back to the line. Talk to our next caller. Good morning.
Good morning, T-Mac.
Good morning, my brother. What's your name, please?
And good morning to your studio guest. My name is JB Napoleon Bono, and I call from Touloustown, Mangibi, County, to be specific.
Go ahead.
T-Mac, when Liberians want their own rights, even this year or next year, they can do it. The only reason why people are now giving credence to mechanized farming is because everyone is into outsourcing and contracting to get share. Look at the LBDR, for example, that was acted by law. No government doing business with LBDR, they need to echo them because they got share. APM terminal people got share there. If red importers, the government got share there. Today you see Momo Saros, he got share into what? He got to give the people got share. You see, Bonnie Sabo got a second. So they keep using the medium to suppress the common people. So Chinese are making, we go back China, right? China is feeding us on daily basis. When anybody get money, go buy Chinese, right? So you black man, you got the soil here, but you buy from the white man who is using mechanized farming. And can you imagine we all eat soft China red? Because the rest we eat doesn't have our nutrient. That nutrient that we sort of have, we don't eat it. That's what today there are many differences. So our law, because the commercial has everything into even concession agreement, they can share.
Wait a minute. I want us to leave the law because now, as they are, according to you, they make a lot of money. I'm asking you, why will you tell AP Terminal that when rice come, give it priority?
I'm not getting your team up.
Why will you tell APM Terminal that anytime you have rice vessel, give it a priority because rice we kill people in this town?
The question go back to our policy makers. You get the team back?
Mm-hmm.
The question go back to our policy makers. They keep playing game in this country. Every beginner can they play game. That's why you see every time we go back. What's the essence of backing we got the soil here? There's no need. So all the companies in Liberia, people got share into it. So ask that big question today. Why you at the LBDR but you literally of 80% government employee take pay to EcoBank? Why? Why do you have LBDR? Why you at by law? Today it gone bankrupt. The only reason put the government dealing with EcoBank and all the other then they how they call or UBA and other things GT Bank. The reason because you can easily get out of the country when you see money go with you anywhere. And people got share into business to pay government workers into EcoBank. They got share. Because their own laboratory about LBDR today, it gone bankrupt. They look the great side because the place poor. They don't get credence to it. But when you ask about law.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're running out of time. Mr. Tolbert?
Yes, sir.
Let's take I want Mr. Tolbert to comment before we take our last break. Mr. Tolbert, this you listen to the people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's both political and to have the political will to do what needs to be done. But the point is, you got 42,000 metric tons out there.
Yeah.
The fear is that it could get damaged. It's a serious loss to you and your company. They stay out there, even though you pay $621,000 to APM terminal, and there is no redress.
Yeah. T-Max, it's important for us to look at the big picture here. Ultimately, it will be the Liberian people that will suffer because of the current policy of APM terminals. There needs to be an adjustment made to the berthing protocol that APM terminal follows so that rice is considered, so that rice is made a priority before it reaches the point where rice gets rotten or that the importer is incurring multi-millions of dollars, just in terms of the expenses to bring the cargo to Monrovia. All of these things will end up being a problem for the Liberian people, whether it's in rice that's available or the cost of rice on the market.
What will you tell your client, K&K?
Well, I can only
say pray to God.
I can only tell K&K that I'm doing the best that I can with APM terminals to try to convince them to bring the vessel in. They know that I'm working. They see me working. We are working together. But at the end of the day, they will lose. They have already lost. In fact, K&K has already lost. This vessel been here since July 24th to now. Do you know how much money they owe in demurrage already? Before we even open the hatches to see what the condition of the rice is, K&K has lost, and it's not the first time. Last rainy season, it wasn't as bad as this, but it was similar. They had a vessel that stayed here very long, over a month. And they had a very high demurrage, $500,000+ in demurrage last year.
Wow.
Now, again, this year is going to be even more. And now we are at risk of the cargo also being spoiled. So, K&K is taking a hit on this one. And, it will lead to problems in the future for we, the Liberian public, in terms of the availability of rice on the market and the cost of rice on the market.
Thank you very much. Let's take our last break. I'll be right back.
After being in the business for more than 20 years, Garage has all it takes to make your car work best for you. Uptown Garage has all sizes of quality tires. We also have the efficient and long-lasting Uptown batteries. Uptown Garage also have a state-of-the-art 2023 upgraded diagnoser that can easily detect and fix any problem with your car. Is your car having any electrical problem? Or is it the air conditioner? Well, Uptown Garage has a professional electrician who is up to the task of programming and solving all electrical problems on your car. Uptown Garage is at the intersection of Broad and Nelson Streets with the Uptown Spare Parts Store on Broad Street. We also have our garage and showroom at Rehab for original spark plugs from Japan, oil filters, engine oil, and everything you need to get your car working perfectly. Come to Uptown Garage. We'll give you 1 month warranty. Uptown Garage also anywhere for a fee. Contact Uptown Garage headquarters 770-902865. Uptown Garage, your 100% Liberian-owned business, is here to put a smile on your face.
Tanu, have you heard about EcoBank Back to School giveaway?
Julie, you again. I haven't. Tell me about it.
Tanu, for every Western Union, MoneyGram, RIA, or rapid transfer transaction done at any EcoBank branch or sub-agent location, you can get a prize. So,
Will, I'm not understanding you. Tell me about the thing because my brother saying the children's school fee first thing tomorrow.
Okay, listen again. Whether you send money or receive money through Western Union, MoneyGram, RIA, or rapid transfer at any EcoBank branch or sub-agent location, you get EcoBank branded copybooks, pens, pencils, and many other items.
Julie, I get it now. I will definitely go to EcoBank for all my Western Union, MoneyGram, RIA, and rapid transfer transaction. That is EcoBank way of saying, welcome back to school. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Thank you very much. Our time is up. But before we leave, let me ask you this very, I will call it, people that think outside the box will see this. You got stranded by APM terminal at the free port of Monrovia. You got a port at Buchanan. Why, if this delay is such a long delay, why don't you use the port of Buchanan?
T-Max, that's an excellent question. The National Port Authority of the Republic of Liberia has ports in Freeport, of course, but also Buchanan, Greenville, Hopper.
Mm-hmm.
The Port of Buchanan is a perfect opportunity. It's an opportunity that some of us have been praying that APM will seize upon. Granted, currently there aren't any warehouse available at the the Port of Buchanan, but the fact that you're having vessels getting congested at Freeport of Monrovia, it's an opportunity for NPA to build some warehouses at Buchanan and allow some of this traffic to go over there.
Imagine you talk about since June.
Yeah.
If that ship are berthed.
Yeah.
At the Port of Buchanan, but now you've been gone back.
The Port of Buchanan empty. There's no ships there. Ships come and they go with no traffic. There's plenty of availability in terms of space, in Buchanan, where vessels can come there, but we don't have any warehouses in Buchanan, and this is the problem. So NPA, who owns all the land around the port over there, needs to consider, partnering with some investors, or they themselves put up some warehousing, because that's the only problem. Warehousing, the lack of. If we have warehousing in Buchanan, some of these vessels can call over there instead of waiting here 2 months for the cargo to spoil. They can go Buchanan. The port they berth in Buchanan is deep enough where the same ship that's in Monrovia waiting for berth, it can go to Buchanan and berth there with no problem. But there's no warehouse. But we know the road between Monrovia and Buchanan is perfect.
It's perfect.
So it's an opportunity. We're hoping and praying that NPA will see it, and hopefully they will do something in the future.
Maybe you need to suggest that to NPA.
Maybe they are listening.
Maybe they listen. Maybe they're not listening.
Well,
maybe they don't see the power that they occupy. Look at the port. It's completely inactive.
Yeah.
Yet you're waiting for 60 days gone, or shipper is out there, can't get in.
Rainy season congestion is not something that only this year. It has been happening previously, and it's only going to continue, and maybe it will get worse. So we need to be planning to find a better way to handle the cargo that's coming to Liberia.
Thank you, Mr. Tolbert. Thank you. I called you in less than an hour. You were here because when I read the papers today, I got panicked about the looming rice shortage. Thank you for providing all the information. And do the best you can for your ship to come in.
Thank you, T-Max.
They say it's coming in tomorrow.
By the grace of God.
But you still will be the doubting Thomas.
Until I see it.
Until you see it, you will not believe it.
Yeah.
On that note, we come to the end of this edition of 50 February. I thank my friend, my brother. First time seeing him, and first time talking to him in less than an hour. He appeared at 50-50. Thanks for providing all this information. Tomorrow morning, we'll be here again to discuss another issue, or making our country a wholesome, thriving society where we all can benefit. Bye-bye for now.